welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick.
Hello everyone, and welcome to EGL Tier 3 of F1 to SRL. First time. After some technical issues, we managed to get the stream running. I'm here joined by Karsten, both of us making our commentating debut. Hence why the problems. Yeah, we just missed out on a tiny bit of qualifying, nothing much. No proper lap has been set yet, but
yeah, it was on the out lap.
So, first lap by Legloff, putting in a 121.0. That's gonna be the banker.
I'm running with his teammate Danny. He's just passed him the first sector now, and he's going on to that straight leading into the S's. He's got a Renault up ahead of him. He's a smooth driver, Danny is.
Yeah, he's coming up now into the chicane, which is pretty easy to get him validated, but as long as he keeps it clean.
Especially when you're on strict, a lot of people debating whether Australia should be run on regular, but it goes hand in hand, because if it's on regular, you can cut that chicane so much.
Yeah, also a lot of time to be gained. In the social race to SRL hosted on Sunday, we saw quite a lot of people picking up penalties. Even the top guys usually are clean, or with maybe 3 seconds, got up to 6 and 9 seconds in one race, which is quite a hefty amount of penalties. So we'll see how it goes this race, since this race is being held at strict rules. So we're gonna see how it goes for all of these guys. Currently the best time by Wimpy at 20.8, a really good time.
Third and fourth place are only separated by 2 thousandths.
Yeah, it's really close for now. But these are the first runs. Also, some people got invalidated on the first lap. Owen, he said he did some good time going through the...
Wimpy came with a crazy lap of 120.8. That's a pretty good lap, but we should be seeing that breaking pretty soon. Owen's on a lap. I'm running with him now.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see even 119s, maybe even low 119s, as Owen said before. He did a 19.2, and some people are saying qualifying is a bit faster than time trial for some. So he's gonna cross the line now to set in his lap, which is going to be a 121.1. So he's 3/10 off pole for now. No.
Good lap by Owen there.
See some people back in the pits.
Need to set a lap. We've got Fusions on his out lap.
Born Wolf also making
SLR
a lap
Max
now.
is coming to the pits. Born Wolf is on it.
Yeah, he was helping us.
He will be he's the only one. Fusions is going to cross the line in a second.
Born Wolf going through the final sector now, which is pretty technical. You can really hold down the throttle with the new downforce in F1 2020. You can take a lot of the corners almost flat out now, but at low speed you can still lose traction. It's a lot easier to keep traction, but it's still pretty easy to lose it. And he crosses the line with a 122.5, putting him in P11 for now. Still around 7 people that didn't put a lap. Blinda out on an out lap right now.
Some people, a lot of people actually got invalidated on their first run, so...
Yeah, that's not the best for their tires, since their tires also got some use put onto them for the race.
Feel like probably a few people, I know Danny personally, I feel like he probably brought a softer tire strategy, a softer tire allocation to the race.
Yeah, so now I'm on board with Blinda as he's about to start his first qualifying lap, or maybe even second, since first one probably was invalidated, going into turn 1. Takes it quite neatly, doesn't get invalidated. It's pretty easy to get invalidated into turn 1. Take a bit too much of the inside or the outside, and the lap goes away. And you gotta go back in the pits, change tires.
Fusion's run wide. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a promising lap from the Williams driver.
As Blinda
coming
sends...
across the line now.
Blinda
a 122.1.
22.1. Let's put him in P10. Blinda said the fastest sector 1, according to my track map, might be just glitched out since F1 tends to do that every now and then. Coming into the chicane, this is the easiest part to get invalidated.
Yeah.
Keeps it clean,
Definitely.
keeps the lap going, so he's gonna be crossing
Yeah.
the line soon.
It's so tough because the outside curb really spits you out if you take too much. Going through the high-speed corner there too.
Breaking into the...
Penultimate corner now.
The last two corners are really tricky, especially the last one, since all you need to do is just a tiny lift off the throttle to get a really good exit and as less wheel spin as possible. And he's about to cross the line to put it on provisional pole, 6/10 clear of Wimpy.
That is a big clearance. But Wimpy on an outlet, and I feel like this is going to be pretty promising from SRL Wimpy. SLR.
Ace Boy
P3.
also in P3.
Hello.
With Ace Boy with a 120.9 in P3. I think this is an in lap, most likely.
Leg going through turn 1 takes a bit too much outside curve, but it shouldn't compromise him too much. Running into turn 3 now, don't brake too late, otherwise it kind of ruins your whole lap. Keeps it clean through there. Turns in very early. Oh, and leg laps lost it. And just like that, leg laps lap is in the bin.
And now he's
As
gonna
there,
have...
I think goes Wimpy.
Yeah, I think it was Wimpy that went past him. He's gonna have to do a whole in lap now with a broken front wing.
No, he got disqualified for going the wrong way.
Ooh, got disqualified. Now that's...
Wimpy sets a purple first sector from SLR Wimpy 3, streaming on YouTube as well. He is very quick on those soft tires. He's got the grace of a ballerina.
Yeah, coming up to the chicane again. This is the point of track to be looking at everyone in qualifying, since there's so much time to be gained, but also so easy to invalidate the lap.
Wimpy 5/10 up. Looks like this is going to be an easy provisional pole time for Wimpy. But I won't put the commentator's curse on him too early.
Coming into the last sector, last few corners, as long as he keeps it tidy, he might even put it on pole.
That is probably the best penultimate corner I've seen all day. Didn't touch too much of the inside curve. Final corner, very clean.
And he does a
Wimpy,
120 flat.
7/10. 2/10 up from on provisional pole.
A really good lap from Wimpy.
And it's lost it through the chicane and he's missing a wheel. How horrible. That's
People are
Owen
going
out
through
of the
chicane.
session.
Hopefully he didn't.
So promising.
Hopefully he didn't ruin anyone else's lap, since that would be a shame.
Yeah, because here comes TSR Danny, who is on, I don't know, he's on an outlap, so it shouldn't affect him too much. I'm going to be running with 2SRL Danny and seeing what kind of lap he can put in. Yellow's in the third sector. I wonder why. Someone might be just
Owen
going
retired,
slowly.
but he
no,
did...
there's someone on the...
Owen retired, but he did have a 4th fastest lap, so that's still going to keep him somewhere high, but he still had a lot of room to improve in that qualifying, so that is just really unlucky from him. I mean, there's still 3 people that didn't set laps.
You did exactly what I was talking about, Sanix. It's just that outside curb of the chicane. All you have to do is take too much and you are spat out of it and into the wall.
Yeah, that chicane is really hard as Max goes back into the pits without a valid lap. That chicane is really hard since you on the exit onto the DRS straight, if you take too much of the inside curb, it might throw you. Oh, Max also had a crash as well since he came in the pits without a front wing. So it's quite a few people crashing. Born Wolf, I think, is on a hot lap right now. Yes, he is going through the chicane.
Back to Danny is about to come to the chicane under the south. We'll have a look at what he's just set the fastest sector too, I think.
And he didn't invalidate through the chicane.
Don't quote me on that, but I bet. No, he kept it very clean through the chicane. As into the final sector, Danny goes now. Moving on, near the penultimate corner.
No
Let's see how
lockup.
clean he can take the penultimate. Very clean.
Yeah.
SLR Danny. No invalidation. Keeps it on the power through the straight.
Where's this gonna
Danny,
put him?
this could be a very fast time.
Puts him in P3.
This is gonna put him in P3.
Still an amazing
129,
lap.
so 19. Very fast. Nevertheless, we are seeing some very fast laps.
But again, really close between Aceboy and Danny. Just a couple of hundreds in between them.
Danny and Ace Boy seem to be having some sort of beef. But Ace Boy also on a hot lap.
Yeah,
so
as
I
he
ran
came
with him.
As he came out of the pits, there was actually a car on the racing line almost, kind of causing him to slow down, so he didn't get the best exit onto the second DRS straight. But besides that, the lap so far looks pretty clean. Now he's coming into the harder part of the track. Actually, semi-harder.
Very technical. Yeah, very technical three. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the part of the track where it's super easy to invalidate actually. Just take it, because...
As well as this corner that he just went through as well, if you take too much inside curve, it shoots you into the air and there goes your lap time.
Yeah, also it's just so easy to spin on that corner.
Oh, he's just set a fastest.
Oh, but he invalidates to the chicane.
Yeah, that's an
Unlucky from Aceboy. Blinda also on an outlap now. We just started it.
Very, very, very unlucky for Ace Boy because he was looking quick.
Yeah, it's really
So
unlucky for him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls into the pits for maybe a change of tires, a refuel.
So people are just
Something
starting their out laps now, or about to start their hot laps.
This is something that I always like to see. It's an aggressive style because they know the circuit is rubbered in more, and they more of the one shot, one try. It's now or never. They
Yeah.
don't just go. Yeah.
Especially
I like this technique. Aggressive. And I've always found that when people are doing qualifying laps, at the end, the adrenaline is much more. So you normally set your fastest time near the end.
Yeah, the session also rubbers in, as you said. It gets much faster towards the end. Even Max, he didn't set a time yet this session, but right now on his hot lap, he did set a fastest sector 1, so he's on for a somewhat good lap. We don't know how fast it's gonna be. He still has 2 sectors to go, but it's looking really good so far. And he invalidates it on the exit of, I think that's turn 8 or turn 9.
He is limping back to the pits. He needs to get to the pits ASAP so that he can get another lap in.
No, I don't think he will go to the pits. I think he's going to the line, trying to keep as least amount of wear on the tires as he can before the lap actually starts. Because if he does get a lap that's gonna put him in the top 10, he's gonna start on these tires. He does not want them to be too worn out.
He doesn't want. Yeah.
Blinda also on a hot lap right now.
Let's have a look.
Fastest sector
But,
1 for him.
Oh, yeah. He's going through the part. Don't touch the inside. Don't touch the inside curve here.
Tiny
oh,
lock up.
little.
Didn't
No
take too much of
invalidation,
his
huh?
speed. Really
Good
clean so
exit,
far.
though.
Really good exit, yeah. Into the chicane now, where it's easy to invalidate. Keeps it clean.
Oh, that was very close. That was very close to an invalidation. But it fastest sector 2 by 2/10. Running
Now coming
into
into
the third sector now. The middle speed corner, penultimate corner now. Don't touch too much. Oh,
Takes it
he
really
took
nicely.
some inside curve.
And he's crosses the line with a
very final
119.7.
corner from Blinda. Let's have a look. 119.
Ooh, and he crashes
For
up.
119.7, that is crazy, and he's just. I'm not even gonna suggest that was a mistake
Yeah, that definitely wasn't a mistake.
because I believe that was. What I think he's trying to do there is, I think he's trying to and this is gonna screw over Neon Rays and SRL Max into the penultimate corner. He goes. Let's have a look through the final corner. Maybe loses it a bit, touches some inside curve, but a very clean exit from Max. Let's have a look.
Puts it P3.
120. Oh, and he's 14.
I'm currently on board with Wimpy. He's the
Oh,
one
no,
chasing
wait,
for
what?
pole right now. Max put it on P3, 4/10 off Wimpy.
Yeah,
And
Wimpy. I think. I'm not sure what Wimpy's doing.
Wimpy is on a hot lap. This is his last chance for a lap.
Yeah, he's on a fast lap.
He didn't set a fastest sector one from what I can
And
see.
he only needs to improve, but he took a bit, and he also took a bit of too much inside curve, so that might just screw him a bit.
When he goes wide in the chicane, Wimpy's lap is over. Wimpy's pole dreams is over.
I don't think he's allowed to start a lap, and it looks like Danny is going to get one final lap, but he needs to improve by almost a second. Wimpy, but that's
Sonny
not. I
also
don't.
crossed the line.
I think he's taking an out lap, not to close the gap to in front, but to open the gap behind.
Aceboy also coming into the final two corners right now to complete his lap.
Aceboy as well, also on a hot lap.
Aceboy coming across the line now. Is he gonna improve?
Aceboy
goes P4.
He's on an out lap. Oh, yeah. No, he's on an out. Yeah, he's going on his lap now. They still have one more lap to go. Danny goes through turn one very cleanly and very fast. Not too wide.
Fusion's also coming through the final corner now.
To the DRS as soon as you can be. By SLR.
Fusion's puts it on P4.
Stuart might have to have a look at that.
I think this is it. I think this is it qualifying. Blinda takes pole. 3/10 clear of Wimpy, who's in P2, followed by Max. Danny, Aceboy, Sonny, Owen,
I've got
Kebab.
Danny in third.
No, Danny, you've got Danny in third?
Oh, yeah, I've got Danny in third with a 129.
For me, Danny is in... Do we have our timings messed up between us? For me, Danny is currently... Wait. Okay. So for me, Danny is in P5. Disqualified Mario. So people got disqualified, time remaining. So who's on their lap actually? Oh, it's...
For me, Owen is third. I don't...
You're Karsten, you're a tiny bit laggy, just so you know. Volume up a bit when you can. Okay, volume up. So let me just put some volume up. I think it's game volume. Hopefully it's game volume. Audio settings. Let me open this. Should be a lot better now. Hopefully it is. I'm just gonna open this chat actually, so I see if anything is wrong. So I guess the timing streams between us are a bit messed up. I have Blinda, Wimpy, Max, Fusions, followed by Danny. That's my top 5. We'll see now at the end here on the timing screens in between sessions how it is. Yeah, seems like Blinda on pole, 3/10 clear, followed by Wimpy and then Max. Blinda and Wimpy just superb fast laps. This looks like this race is gonna be pretty, you know, if they get a good start, they might pull a gap on the other drivers from what it looks like now. But behind in the field, from like P3 to P10, it's actually kind of close.
Sorry, Sanix. I was having a bit of trouble with my internet. There was a little bit of wind, so I might need a new invite as well.
A new invite? I can't invite you.
No, I'm sending a message to.
So now, as we're waiting for the session to start.
I did see towards the end that yes, Danny was in 5th place.
Danny was in 5th place, yeah.
So
I think
my game eventually caught up.
okay. Session starts in 5 seconds, so they're gonna do a formation lap and then and then we will see how it goes. Hopefully you get in time to see the start as well.
I'm really hoping so. Hold on, I will be back in a second.
Yeah, as Belinda takes off for the formation lap here. Followed by Wimpy, Max, and Fusions in the first two grids. I think Ojumir, Mario, and Liglov, all three of them got disqualified for driving in the wrong way. Let me actually close this so I don't drop frames. And all of this is fixed. Last setting. Okay. No more changing for now. So just taking it slow in the formation lap. So three of them got disqualified in qualifying for driving their own way. In this game, it's Owen got disqualified for... Quite a few got disqualified. I guess it's just some small bumps that puts them back on the grid. There's gonna be quite a few on the grid right now. I can't even go spectate him. So they're still gonna start the session, just they're not gonna get the temperature in their tires on the formation lap. So as I was saying, in qualifying, if you spin, and just a tiny bit of driving backwards is gonna get you disqualified in this game, and I think that's what happened to Owen, who spun and broke his wing, and Legloff as well. So quite a few of them had unlucky qualifyings, and we didn't get to see the best of their times. So I think there could still be people to watch out for, especially Owen. He was saying about how he...
Very.
As a predicted strategy, with a one stop or a two stop, from what I know, I think you could do this track on both a one stop on both mediums or hard tires. So soft medium and soft hard, both is an option.
I've always learned one thing, and that is the hards around Australia are definitely not a good choice of tire. They are very rough around this track. So yeah, I think maybe hards might not. Obviously, some people just don't have the sheer pace, but Blunder and Wimpy, I think, might just get away with going softs to mediums.
Well, that is if they could pull a gap that's
Obviously,
big enough. I think in the pits you lose around 20 to 30 seconds, somewhere in there. So if they pull a gap like that, they can take the fastest point, the fastest lap point as well, which right now doesn't seem that big. You know, it's just 1 point, but in 22 races on the last race in Abu Dhabi, it might be completely different. As the race is about to start, with 5 red lights that are, and they go off quite a long way. Blinda gets a somewhat good start. Max goes up to P2. No, he doesn't. Wimpy seems to be ghosted.
Blinda has a good start.
Blinda got a really good start, followed by Wimpy, and then a Haas of Danny right behind him. Danny got an amazing start, as doesn't seem to be any... Actually, there is. Luca Message fanboy spun out. He broke his front wing. It's not too much. Shaka picks up a 5-second penalty for severe warning, and there is another pile up here in turns 4 and 5.
Looks like carnage.
Yeah, it's a VSC right now. Virtual safety car out right now. Currently...
VSC on lap 2. Lap 2.
No, it's still lap 1. I think this is just all messed together. Currently Blinda in the lead, followed by Wimpy and Danny, who got an amazing start, went up from P5 into P3. VSC ended, so race start. Wojumir picks up another 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. As Wimpy's now chasing
Always
Blinda.
Always a tough one.
And another spin. I think it's actually a crash, a yellow flag in sector 2. So Neon Rays spins and breaks his front wing again, and Luca Messets also crashed, and as Neon Rays actually leaves the session. So we will see how this ends up. There's no more yellow flags. Wojumir, who also had an incident at the start, just coming through the last corner now. Owen picks up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on just 1 lap. Max, who had a really good qualifying, currently in P5. He dropped 2 positions, if I remember correctly. He started P3, now he's in P5. Kind of switched places with Danny. Fusion's lost nothing on the start, but he also gained nothing. He keeps there, it's still a good amount of points he's gonna get at the end of the race. Blinda currently on a 7/10 gap to Wimpy, and Danny 1 second behind Wimpy already. So currently for Wimpy, he would just need to stay in the DRS range of Blinda to actually pose a proper challenge. Also with the new F1 2020, there is a new ERS mode, and it's super easy to burn through it.
Yeah. It's very tough to not burn through that.
As Born Wolf
You
actually,
really have to.
Born Wolf spun in the chicane. He lost a few places, and now he's also quite like 5 seconds behind the closest guy. So Turkey, as Blinda sets the fastest lap at 124.6 right now, and Wimpy is dropped behind him already 1.6. Blinda's pulling away with this. Already out of DRS.
Yeah, Blender. Like I said, if Blender can just pull that extra gap out, I think if the 2-stop for me is a much faster strategy, but obviously it's the mindset of having to make an extra pit stop that normally gets you.
Yeah, Wimpy chasing now. DRS is gonna be enabled this lap, I think already. If it's lap 3, yeah, it should be enabled now. So Wimpy just barely hanging in that DRS range. As there's another sector flag, Luka Mesut spun again. Actually, no, that was Braga. Braga spun in the chicane. So he spun, but he doesn't seem to be.
And
As the leaders are actually coming up to it now, Braga is just barely moving. He does seem to have his whole front wing, so he didn't take any damage or any serious damage from that, which is good for his race, but he's currently 9 seconds off P18 in P19. So he has a lot of catching up to do and maybe some different strategies. As there's another yellow flag in Sector 3. There's, I think, the Alfa Romeos of Kebab and Sony and Bijou all racing together. As 2 people pit already, yeah. I think Born Wolf and... Oh no, Blinda pit already. Blinda and Wimpy pit.
So that looks like Blinda's going onto the 2-stop for me. I think.
Yeah, Wimpy pit behind them as well. So they both went into the pits.
That's a 2-stop. They're going for that probably unfavored 2-stop strategy, in my opinion. But it's going to be interesting to see if they are going for a 2-stop. We'll have a look now what tire they come out on and where they come out.
For me, it says they are still on the soft tire, but it says the soft tire is
That
3 laps
means
old.
if
Oh yeah, that is, they're on the qualifying tires. They qualified. They had no extra tires left, so this is all worn tires from qualifying. Both going for the 2-stop. Blinda even locking up a tiny bit. Owen picks up another 3-second penalty in just 3 laps.
It's not looking like a good debut for the Tier 3 reserve driver. Gets a chance to race and not looking like he's making the most of it.
Braga also picks up another 3-second time penalty. You know, maybe if someone doesn't pick up a single penalty this race, maybe they'll see themselves as a winner as well, you know, considering how easy it is to pick up warnings almost through every corner on this track. As there's Fusions is pitting as well.
Especially Fusions didn't do too many runs in qualifying, no. So that's looking like it could be a 2-stop for Fusions.
There's a yellow flag. Kebab spun out of the first
Someone
chicane. So Kebab now getting overtaken, losing some positions, but then again, his front wing seems to be okay. He might have burned his tires a little bit, and they're going to be hot and be a bit more worn than the other people's tires, but all he has to do is just keep his head down and keep on going. As Wojciech picks up another 3-second time penalty. This is just penalties flying left and right.
Who is that for? Who picked up another time?
Wojciech, SRS Wojciech, currently P13. As Danny and Max are in the lead now, kind of DRS training each other actually, and Ace Boy behind them. As it is now, if there's a safety car
Ace Boy and
yeah, if there's a safety car right now,
it is going to be Danny's race.
Oh, and Danny pits. Danny goes into the pits as well.
Danny Pitts.
Danny pits, and now Max
That
takes the lead.
looks. Danny Pitt. Okay, I can tell you this for a fact because Danny and I are good friends. Danny is going on a 2-stop because Danny will not use the hard tires around Australia. I'm pretty sure that Danny is not
As
going to be
Bijay
doing the 1-stop strategy today.
is now closing up on Sonny with the DRS, coming into turn 3, almost touching his rear wing, getting really close there, staying at the back of him. Now through this section with a few fast corners, he might even lose some downforce following a car. So, you know, currently in P5, Sonny in P4, 5 seconds off P3, and then Owen in P3 with 2 seconds behind the actual 2 leaders. But as it is now, he has quite a few penalties. Scaba picks up another one. We saw quite a few people spinning actually, so if someone spins and hits the wall a bit too hard, there might be a safety car. And as it is now, both P1 and P2 are both Renaults. So as it is now, if there is a safety car and they do pit for a set of hard tires and go to the end with it, they might get some big points for Renault at the end of the season.
That might be a bad idea.
As there is someone who spun again. Mario spun.
Going into league races is not like to think about the team. It's very big that you don't just think about your race. It's so easy to just forget that this is a 22 race calendar, and at the end of the day, if you're not going to be winning the championship, you want your team to win the championship.
Yeah, exactly. As we both know, Blinde and Wimpy both pit on lap 4, and now Blinde overtook Turkey and Wimpy stuck behind Turkey. So Blinde on fresher tires than, I mean, Blinde and Wimpy both on fresh tires, and Turkey on those tires he started with. He's gonna be holding up Wimpy a bit.
And that can only make Blinde's race better.
Yeah. Actually, all the tires are the same age. This is really confusing me, since Turkey didn't pit, but he's the same age old tires. Unless he actually started, Turkey didn't, I don't think he did a lap in qualifying, I think that's what it is. So he just started with the first set of tires. So they're actually, Turkey is in lead positions right now as it is. If he is on fresh tires, those that he started with, he is currently in net P2. Braga picks up another 3-second time penalty in P19, 36 seconds off P18.
It's not looking like, with all those time penalties and the 36 seconds and all that stuff, it doesn't look like it's going to be a good day.
As
for
Owen
Braga.
and Max both pit. So
Both pit at the
yeah, this is what we've been seeing people pitting at the same lap. He goes on the hard tires, so he's trying to go to the end, and he's also changing his front wing, so I guess he had some minor damage there. So he drops down to, gonna drop down quite a few
and he
positions.
picked up by the Alfa Romeo.
Ooh.
Hold it up a bit, but to be honest, the best thing the only thing Max can hope for now is a safety car, because yes, it is always it's better to bite the bullet and change your front wing, but you still want to stay in the race, and at the end of the day, you don't want to change your front wing because that's extra time, and as we all know, time is money in this sport.
Yeah, I think safety car right now would not be that good for Max, since he just pitted, changed his front wing, so he lost like an extra 5 to 6 seconds in that pit. If there's a safety car now, Wimpy and Blinde and Turkey as well, actually everyone in the top 10 gets a free pit stop, and it's just easy cruising from there on. As there's an accident behind a Mercedes of Shaka, I think, and the Red Bull of Braga, I think they touched or someone spun, because there was a yellow flag in sector 2 for a split second. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3, actually, last few corners. So there's Owen, I think. Kebab pits, I think they had a minor incident. There's quite a lot of incidents that I'm missing here. Owen currently in P6. on those hard tires. He pitted really early, but he does have quite a few penalties. Ace Boy still in the lead. Currently a 20-ish second gap to Born Wolf. Actually, where's Blinda? Blinda and Wimpy are quite... Did Blinda and Wimpy actually have a incident? Since they dropped back quite a bit. Oh no, they pit as well. We missed them pitting. Blinda is on hard tires and Wimpy is gonna be on hards as well. So their entire set's going till the end now. So I guess those softs really do not go for too long, since they did 2 sets of soft tires in just 9 laps.
Okay, Sanix, I'm going to leave you to it and enjoy the rest of the race, everybody.
Okay, okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, as it is now, I think Blinda is still in the net lead. Even though, let me just look at the pit stops. Detail stops. So, Ace Boy, and there's another yellow flag. There's a McLaren, so that's Born Wolf that spun. Let me go on to Born Wolf. So he spun. Did he pick up any damage? No, his front wing looks intact as well. So this is his second spin this race already. People seem to be spinning left and right through every corner. But as long as they're not damaging their wing, that's pretty good. But he goes into pit. Maybe I just don't see the damage then. Those medium tires must be fried, I guess. He started on those mediums as well. So P1 and P2 still didn't pit. Danny in P3, he has pitted and he is on the medium tire. So he might try to extend those tires till the end of the race, or go for a 2-stop and take the soft tire at the end and try to get a fastest lap. Currently Blinda in P9, stopping once. He's on hard tires as well, but it said he was in the pits before, so he should have 2 stops. So I'm guessing F1 is just being a bit glitchy again, but should be fine. Because we saw him go into pits before, because he dropped a lot of positions. And then he went on the softs again, and now he's on the hards. Same with Wimpy. Wimpy in P13 right now. Dropped 11 positions from the start. Blinda 8. They both pitted twice from what I know. As Bishop pits now as well. And as yellow flag in Sector 3 with an Alfa Romeo spinning. Sonny spun, doing almost donuts there. Let's see if he has any front wing damage for that spin, since it is easy to spin and hit the wall, but his front wing also seems to be okay. He is on the soft tires though. Let's see how old those soft tires are. Yeah, they're pretty new tires, so he did just burn through them now quite fast. But he's 1 spin. Tiny bit lockup. Let's see if he goes into the pits. No, he keeps on going. Those tires are going to be pretty warm now, so it's going to be really easy to spin, as there's another yellow flag. Nothing massive. Max in quite a... He's on hards in some traffic, but he did qualify P3, so he is pretty high right now, since he did pit, and those are the tires he is looking to go to the end with. If there's not going to be another safety car or whatever. There was a safety car a virtual safety car on lap 1 of the race. There was quite a bit of incidents, a few spins at the start. But there's quite a bit of traffic, really close, side by side into the chicane. Ooh, and they touch. That was really close, and Max just picks up the scraps and gets past them both. While they're still fighting side by side. After the 3rd DRS zone, Ozdemir takes the lead. Not takes the lead, but keeps the position. It's really well done from him. Really well done by not losing it in the chicane after the touch. He was sideways there for a moment. Danny still in the lead, and another yellow flag in Sector 3. Blinda and Mario spun. That's really bad for Blinda, as Wimpy's gonna be catching, and he actually broke his front wing, so he's gonna have to pit again. This is really bad for Blinda. He might even lose the race from this, but this strategy calls might not have been the best, since Danny is in the lead and he is on medium tires, and he might even try to stretch them to the end. Don't really know exactly what lap he pitted on, but it should... If he does it well, he might risk a puncture in the later stages of the race, but he could also get through the line in P1. Owen moved up to P2. He does have quite a few penalties. Wimpy currently P9, fast Blinde. Blinde actually retired in the pits, really unlucky from him. He had an amazing qualifying session, 3/10 off Wimpy, and now an accident happened, but this is just the first race of 22 to come, so is Owen now chasing Danny, but also being attacked by Ace Boy, who is on medium tires going to the end. He also did pit. So let's see if he's gonna go for an attack here. He's gonna have DRS on the main straight on Owen. So he might try for a move into turn 1 or turn 3 after. Going side by side already into turn 1. Already gets the job done before turn 1. Now Max behind Owen as well as Kebab picks up another 3-second time penalty. So as I said before, penalties are just coming and coming and they won't stop. So Owen is now already kind of falling behind Ace Boy. And these corners, it's kind of easy to lose downforce following another car. So what Ace Boy is trying to do now, he's probably burning through some overtake. He's got a lot of ERS left. Yeah, just a tiny bit of overtake. He wants to get a 1 second gap before the next DRS straight. He doesn't want Owen behind him. As Max though, on the back of Owen, he will want this position. Danny with the 5.6 second gap in the lead though. On medium tires, a bit older medium tires than everyone else. So he's on 7 laps old with... Oh, and someone spun. Max spun. Max spun and hit the wall in the chicane. And that's a virtual safety car. Max is out of the race. This virtual safety car might play into hands of some people that would have to pit. Sonny, for example, but I think he's too far away from the pits to actually go for the pits now. Yeah, he's just barely at the chicane. It's really easy to pick up a penalty this year. It's not like last year where you could just speed under the safety car. Like once it said safety car ending, you could just go. Even if your delta was negative, you didn't get anything this year. Even if your delta is a bit positive, you still get a penalty. So I think they fixed that with the latest patch. But he locks up a bit, not good for the tires. Virtual safety car still out. He is gonna pit, so he's gonna lose a lot less time than he would normally pitting, just because it's under VSC. Let's see when it actually ends. Oh, it just ended as I was saying. So he's Danny, 5.7, still keeping a steady gap on Ace Boy, who is on 6 laps younger tires as we saw before. Oh, and catching up, 1 second behind Ace Boy. And then the closest one is Bialuk on P4, and then Wimpy on P5, 12 seconds behind P4. He qualified P2, and then I think he pitted for softs and then hards, so he's on a 2-stop strategy that doesn't seem to be working out really good, considering Ace is on mediums that are going to the end, and Ace is 17 seconds in front. So Wimpy is chasing for at least a podium position now. He did show that he has the pace for it, but we'll see what's yet to come. There's still 15 laps left of the race. There's a lot that can happen in double the time that we just had. So, let's see. Wozermir, he did spin once before. Now chasing Born Wolf, who also did have a couple of incidents of his own through the chicane, which is really harsh to spin in. And there's another yellow flag in Sector 1. There's nothing big, just someone coming out of the pits, I think slowing down for the faster car on a lap. I think it was Owen and Ace Boy that were coming on the main straight. As Wojimir trying to get on the back of Born Wolf. Wojimir on those soft tires and Born Wolf on those hard. So Wojimir is going to be having a lot more grip to these corners than Born Wolf does. He's getting really close to him actually on those traction zones. So now on the main straight, he's going to open DRS, overtake enabled. So he's look at the speed he's catching up with and just breezes past like it's nothing into turn 1 already ahead of him. I think he also gets DRS for the second DRS zone since the detection is earlier. Yeah, he does. So he's just gonna pull away now from Born Wolf, leaving him in the dust on those hard tires. As in front, Ace Boy is pulling on to Danny, already a 3.8 second gap, pulled 2 seconds in 1 lap almost. So he will be looking for that race win actually. Danny now just cruising on those medium tires that might even be bit worn now. He might even feel the wear. So he pitted 10 laps. So he pitted lap 6. So he's got like another 10 laps to go on these tires, which might actually be hard. For Aceboy, for example, it's going to be super easy since his tires are 4 laps old. But Danny, he might start to struggle in just a couple of laps time. And at the end of the race, he might even have to pit for it. Danny started in P5 and he had an amazing start going up to P3. With Max on P3 dropping down to P5. So, how was the start? Blinda and Wimpy got away amazingly, but we know how Blinda's race ended and Wimpy now in P5. Sonny 6/10 away from Born Wolf now as well. So Born Wolf really seems to be losing quite a bit of pace there on those hard tires. Sonny on those mediums catching up to him. Main straight, DRS going into turn 1. And now second straight also will have DRS. He might even pop overtake. Yeah, he does, but he barely has any ERS left. So he's gonna have to wait a couple of laps and just get that ERS back up. And just kind of hope he stays close enough for the DRS to be activated. As Aceboy, 3.1 seconds now. Owen kind of falling back from Aceboy. As Aceboy is catching onto Danny. Every lap he just pulls a tiny bit more. So I think... Oh, and Danny pits. Danny pits for a new set of tires and Aceboy takes the lead. Owen currently in P2. Owen is on those hards as well. So both Owen and Aceboy are looking to go to the end of this race on those tires. Blue flag cars in front of them. As Ligalaf in P7, he got disqualified in qualifying for driving the wrong way, I think, for a spin he had, so I was unlucky from him. Owen also was disqualified for a minor crash and then spin, but he did set in a valid lap that put him P4, and at the end of the qualifying he was in P9 if I remember correctly. So right now he's gonna catch up onto this back marker. Actually, Neon Race, he did leave the session quite early on. I think he just had damage, had to pit, and he just left. But if he stays behind him for long enough, he's ghost. No, he's not gonna get DRS now on this straight. Otherwise, he could have had DRS onto this straight now, which would have been pretty good for his time. Might have even picked up a warning for that. He's 2.5 seconds behind Aceboy, who is now kind of just freely in the lead since the only driver that he was chasing was Danny. So, and Danny is now on soft tires. And he's going to the end with these soft tires. So let's see, this should be qualifying tires, but it doesn't say they're worn at all. So he's on fresh softs, has to do 12 laps, seems viable. So all he has to do is just bang in some really good times. Currently 10 seconds away from a podium. But Wimpy is really close behind him as well, 1.5 seconds behind. Coming onto the main straight now, he's not gonna have DRS just yet, but on those hard tires, he's gonna have a hard time keeping up with the fresh softs of Danny, who is just on a mission now to get that podium. All he has to do is just keep consistently going fast. It's that easy. Some people had some incidents. Born Wolf also spinning. Sonny got past him. By the looks of it, he will have the ERS now on him. He does have quite a bit of ERS as well. Unlike Sonny, who's just burning through that ERS like it's nothing. He has none of it left. He's just keeping the button on, which is not the best for his ERS. As Born Wolf just taking it nice and easy. Just opening the ERS. Just cruising behind him. Managing his ERS. Waiting for the time to come to attack. He knows the race is still long and the whole season is long. You know, just even if he gets 1 point, at the end of the year it might be good. You know, even the person that gets fastest lap today that 1 point might come in handy at the end of the year for the drivers' championship. Wimpy currently 2 seconds behind Danny. Yeah, losing time to those first softs. Danny already 8.6 seconds, 8.5, catching up to P3. As Aceboy is pulling a gap to Owen. Linda and Max, the two retirees of this session, both of them had potential to win the race. It was a Renault 1-2 even at the start of the race. Max had that incident in the chicane where he just lost it and hit the wall. Really unlucky from him. So right now, Owen 3.2 seconds behind, but he does have quite a few penalties. I think it's 6 or 9 seconds if I'm not mistaken. And who's to say there's not more to come with 10 laps left of the race. A lot of the penalties were picked up at the first few laps. Didn't really see anything pop off during the race now, but might just be that I got used to seeing all those penalties pop up and I'm just not registering them anymore. Owen 3.3 behind. Danny 7.5. He's really banging in those fast lap times. As Born Wolf is still really close to Sonny. He's skipping in that DRS range. So Turkey picks up a 3-second time penalty. Talking about penalties there. Currently in P10. So Sonny, Turkey, and then Born Wolf kind of close to each other, like 4 seconds between them. That's currently the fight for the point, as Wimpy is 3 seconds away from Danny. Already Danny pulled 2 seconds on him since he came out of the pits with those first tires. If Sonny makes a mistake, Born Wolf is just gonna come close to him, but he doesn't want to get side by side with him into this chicane. But he will go for a move most likely onto this straight now. He will have DRS. DRS is open. Does he press overtake? No, he does not. No overtake used. So he's just cruising behind. Tries to look on the outside a tiny bit, maybe unsettle Sonny to that corner, but doesn't really go for it. I think he's just waiting for his time, waiting for Sonny to make a mistake. He just saw he made one. So, you know, maybe he's just waiting for Sonny to crumble under pressure. Braga picks up another penalty and the yellow flag in Sector 3. Ferrari of Turkey spins on the straight, promotes Sonny and Born Wolf all up by 1 position. So he spun on the straight. Let's see. Oh, and he hit the wall again. Oops. And he actually broke his front wing as well. So he's going to have to do a whole lap with a broken wing as Owen picks up another 3-second time penalty. So with every penalty he picks up, I think that P2 looks more and more not achievable. We don't know how many Bijou has, but now Turkey's going to have to drive to the pits, try not to spin again or damage his wing even more. Maybe break the car. But Born Wolf, he might even be happy with this. He is on the back of P10 now, within the DRS range. Sonny made a mistake here last lap. This lap he keeps it a lot cleaner, but he's still in the DRS range. On the car, he's still using that overtake. It looks like he constantly has it open. He's constantly a 0 overtake, but he is skipping in front of Born Wolf, who is now closing up onto him. But then again, just to keep close enough for that DRS. As Ace Boy already a 4.1 second gap onto Owen, and Danny only 4.5 seconds behind P3 now. Then again, those softs are really good for the first few laps when you're actually pushing with them, and then they will start to fall off again. So Danny now 4.2 seconds behind. Wimpy already been gapped by 3 seconds since he came out of the pits. Fusion's behind Wimpy, who also started P4, so let's look at position change. So both Ace, Owen, and all the top 4 guys gained quite a bit of positions, except for Danny. But even Danny had an amazing race so far, and I think his race is by far not over yet. So Wimpy and Fusion's both losing a couple of positions. I think that might be due to strategy calls. Legalov also going up to P7, which was to be expected. I thought he would be somewhere up high, had that incident in qualifying that caused him to get disqualified. But he is in P7 now with a fair share of points. As Born Wolf actually not in DRS range of Sonny anymore. He's 1.1 seconds behind. Wojcimir picks up another 3-second time penalty. And now he's in the DRS range again. So it's really close between them. Seems to be just pushing a tiny bit to get that DRS, and then he backs off, keeping those tires alive till the end of the race. So his tires are 11 laps old while Sonny's are 7, but his tires are the hards. So I think they should be starting to equalize in a couple of laps now. Don't really know the lifespan of either of these tires. I know the softs last around 10 to 11 laps. Danny's currently on 5 laps old. So Danny has, I think, around 2 more laps to 3 to get that DRS onto P3 to maybe fight for it. Other than that, I think his tires might actually start dying off. But Bijou is also on those hards, 11 laps old. Sonny has a minor lockup. Born Wolf seems to be a bit slidey. The tires might be even a bit worn on the back, kind of losing a tiny bit of traction. That was definitely a warning as well. But he is P10 as Wojomir pitted for another set of softs, so he is in the points as it is now. So if we go look ahead a tiny bit, we're actually behind. Wojomir came out 1.5 seconds behind Mario, and he is on softs and Mario is on those mediums. He is also ghosted, so that would make me believe he is out of the session, as Kebab picks up another 3-second time penalty. And Sony is 5.8 behind Kebab, with Bornwolf being 1.5 behind Sony. So with these penalties, the order is going to change a lot to what we see right now. Owen with amazing pace to P2, but he did pick up a lot of penalties. So as it is now, ooh, and Wojomir gets past him, but it is a ghosted car. Danny now 1.9 seconds behind Bijelu. He's pushing as hard as he can to get that DRS. Overtake just a tiny bit. He's gonna close it here any second now. Yeah, he's got around 40-ish% left. He's 1.8 seconds behind Bijou, so I think in 1 to 2 laps time, he's gonna be in DRS range of those mediums in front of him. Wimpy behind 6 seconds already. Lost 5 seconds so far since Danny came out of the pits. Braga currently in last place, but it's been like that since the start. Had a really unlucky race start. Turkey also broke his wing on the straight. Had severe damage. Half of his front wing was missing. And he is in P816 now, but he is quite close to Luka Mesic's fanboy, who I think is still in the session. So he will be going for a move now on this main straight. Or maybe even in the penultimate corner. He is coming up to him now. Oh, it's a ghosted car, I think, as well, that I didn't notice. Or no, it's not. Or it is. So it is a ghosted car. So Turkey gets past him in P15 now, out of the points. Bornwolf 2 seconds behind Sony, so maybe something happened to him. Something that caused him to lose that much time. Yellow flag in sector 3. So there was someone going slow on the main straight. It seemed to be the Alpha of Kebab, who now lost quite some time. Oh, and he seems to be quite understeery. He might have front damage. Yes, he does. He has his front wing kind of broken. So he's going to be really understeery as Owen picks up another 3-second time penalty, and Kebab just locks up into that corner, letting Sony pass. And now Bornwolf is going to be on the back of Kebab, and most likely he will get him as Wimpy picks up another 3-second time penalty. So yeah, Kebab is really struggling now without that front wing on those hard tires. Yeah, locking up into every corner. He's going to have to pit. Luka Mesic picks up another 3-second time penalty as well. Bornwolf 1.7 seconds behind, as Danny 1.6 seconds behind. Seems to be coming closer and closer, so this will be the last laps. We might even see a move for P3 in the last corner. The first few corners keeps it nice and clean, 1.7 seconds in front. Let's see, so he has around 30% of ERS, as Bija has roughly the same. They're even on ERS, so this will be a battle that will go down to the last few laps. As it stands now, Ace is just far in the lead, with Owen having a lot of penalties, as Danny picks up another penalty. So if Bishop doesn't have any penalty and Danny gets past him, another yellow flag in sector 3. It seems to be the Alpha of Kebab still struggling through corners. Shaka in P10 right now, got past him as well. Yeah, so Kebab is going in the pits as well, as Danny is catching up to Bija, who is in front of him. 1.2 seconds behind he is through the chicane, coming into the final 3 or 4 laps of the race. Aceboy 5-second gap already to Owen, really racing on his own for almost the whole race. He has been in the lead. Now coming up to a lapped car as well. He's gonna have DRS on him, I think, on the second straight. Actually, not even if he was, since he didn't have it now. Yeah, he doesn't have DRS. But he should. It's just a lapped car, and it's ghosted as well. I think that's Luka Mesic's car. So as I said, Aceboy just confidently in the lead, taking this race. It seems like it's in the bag. Hopefully I didn't just curse that, but seems to be looking good for him. Oh, and 5 seconds behind on those hard tires. Those hard tires he's been on for almost the whole race, if I remember that correctly. So, well, my bad about that one. So, yeah, 18 laps on those hard tires, with Aceboy being 14 on those mediums. So, Kebab on those fresh softs, he might go for a fastest lap, snatch a point away from someone at the top 10. Lap data, no. Fastest lap, yeah, currently Danny has the fastest lap on those soft tires. Kebab might try to get it away. Currently his fastest lap being almost 2 seconds slower. Danny should be getting close to Bisha now, but he's 1.8 behind on those last few laps. Seems like those soft tires are almost at the end of their life. I mean, in 9 laps in, they should be getting close to being just completely gone, completely just burnt out. So Bisha now 1.8 in front on those hards, Owen on hards as well, and Aceboy on mediums. Bornwolf in P9, he got past Shaka as well. So Bornwolf still 2.6 behind Sunny. Sunny pulling away kind of slowly, but he is pulling away on those medium tires. There was quite a few laps where where Bornwolf was behind him on those hards with DRS. He could have maybe overtaken him if he used a bit more of his ERS, but might have had different ideas. Maybe he made a mistake now and then. He did have a few incidents early on in the race, even a couple of spins, so this P9 right now is looking like a good recovery drive from him. Liglaf as well, amazing race from him. He might even get driver of the day from the new future this game has. Wimpy in P5, 4.2 seconds behind. I think he's actually gaining onto Danny now. As his tires are gone, Wimpy just touches a tiny bit of grass, doesn't losing too much speed. So nothing bad. 4.1 seconds behind Danny, Danny 1.6 behind. Neon Rays, oh, yellow flag sector 3. So Bija actually retires. Bija crashed out in the chicane. So he is out, promotes Danny into P3 and Wimpy into P4. Wow, that was really unexpected. Bija was driving an amazing race up there in front. Those hard tires most likely just, at this point in the race, just died since it is the last 2 laps. So Wimpy might even get P3 here, as I think if I saw that correctly, Kebab set the fastest lap on those soft tires. Yeah, 123.9 is the current fastest lap of the race. Bornwolf gets a 3-second time penalty in P9, as Shaka just really far behind. Actually P8 now. Still behind Sonny, 3 seconds, so pulling away from Sonny. I did put the commentator's curse, just not an ace apparently on Bija. But currently Danny in P3, 9.3 seconds behind Owen. So as it is now, it's Ace, Owen, and Danny, but we do know that Owen has quite a few penalties, and I know Danny picked up some and Wimpy picked up some, so this is going to be a complete surprise at the end of the race to see who finished where. Fusions P5, Ligalov P6. It's not any battles. Actually, Mario is on the back of Kebab, 1.1 behind, so Kebab just dealt with him and now he's on his way. Yeah, he's on soft tires, 16 seconds behind P10, so it's pretty far away. So I think as it is now, this might even be the finishing order as Aceboy starts his final lap of a race he drove amazingly. Took the lead. Actually, he gained quite a few positions. He gained 5 positions. Owen gained 6. Danny had an amazing start as well, starting from P5. He went straight into P3 and he pitted even later, and he kept the P3 as Wimpy still closing into Danny. I think Wimpy might be even pushing a bit hard since he knows better what penalties Danny has than I do, as Luca Messes picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's 2.3 behind, so he's really banging in those times. He's probably using overtake, yeah, as well. His ERS on fumes right now. Legalov picks up another 3-second time penalty. Wimpy 2.1 behind. He gained almost a whole second that lap. Danny's tires seem to be really gone right now. Kebab picks up another 3-second time penalty as well. So he really needs to watch out here now, because it's really easy to lose traction on old tires in this chicane, but he does keep it clean. doesn't have any loss of traction. Wimpy 2.1 behind. I think at this point everyone just wants to get the race done. They're in good positions. Danny 10 seconds behind. Wojimir picks up another 3-second time penalty. It will be fun going through all these penalties, seeing what kind of penalties people have. As Aceboy finished the race, and he is the winner. Owen behind in P2, 22 seconds behind. And Danny gonna cross the finish line now. Gets P2 because of those penalties. And Wimpy 4 seconds off. Owen gets that P3. Also an amazing drive from him after getting disqualified in quali. So currently Aceboy, Danny and Owen in the podium and Wimpy in P4. So this is how the field ended. Bornwolf in P8 with those spins. So let's Swanee P7, Bornwolf, yeah. So we can go on board with him. He's gonna go to cross the finish line soon, as Swanee right in front of him, we can see, about to cross the finish line now. Fusions also had quite a few penalties, and Bornwolf finishes in P8. Shaka is gonna be P9 from the looks of it, and Wojimir 3 seconds behind him is gonna finish P10. Everyone else was lapped, so it's unlucky from them. Kebab snatched up fastest lap point away as well. So this is the race as it is now. So let's see if people will come for those interviews. I just need to tell someone to move them into my room slowly. So, hello Owen. Let me just switch on to the interview screen.
You're on mute.
So you had an amazing race. What happened in qualifying? First of all, it seemed like you had an incident where you hit the wall and then went backwards, and I was on mute. Oh my god.
I said.
Rookie mistake right there. My bad. Okay, so let's start over. So first of all, what happened in qualifying? You had an incident and you got disqualified. That's, if I remember correctly, right?
I was on a nice hot lap. I was up in the time. I was gonna get, I reckon, top 4, and a car came up ahead of me, so I had to react to make sure I didn't go straight into the car. And my reaction to not going into the car was, a fatal one.
Yeah, quite a few people got disqualified in qualifying for driving the wrong way because of spins and stuff. But it was still an amazing recovery drive in the race. You started P9, if I recall correctly, and you picked up a fair share of penalty points though. What were the corners you were struggling with the most? Like, was it the chicane? Was it?
It was basically, so, mainly just the sharp left turn. I don't really know what it's called. I can't really remember. But it was just, I was always, going a little bit too early into that turn. So as you saw, I did pick up a fair few penalties, which was very frustrating. I will work on that. Second place would have been good for the team, but third place is still good from 9.
That was really good from you. The Renaults were a bit unlucky with both Ace and Max being in the lead, but you still picked up quite a bit of points. Ace, how did you feel? Do you feel that if you would have been on a bit younger tires or another set of tires, would you have caught up? Or
I think I could have caught up at some points. I was gaining. I did get multiple messages from Jeff saying I was gaining second, but clearly the Renaults were very good at managing the tires and just had overall very good race pace.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, congrats. It was amazing watching you just pick up those penalties and gaining a lot of time and just doing an amazing recovery drive from that incident you had. So thanks a lot for coming in here.
Yeah, love you. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, see you next week. Love you.
See you later.
Okay. So Hagrid, move at Ace. So we got our race winner. Hello.
Hello.
That was an amazing race from you.
Yeah.
In qualifying, where did you start? You started like P7-ish?
P6. I started P6.
P6, yeah. So that was just an amazing race from you. Good strategy as well.
Yeah.
No, just congrats on the race win. It seemed like you were on top of your game.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you find any problems with penalties, since a lot of the drivers were struggling with them? Through
I didn't even have a single penalty though.
You didn't have a single penalty. I didn't check the penalty list, my bad, but I
Yeah,
just saw those penalties popping up on screen left and right. But congrats to you. Congrats on not picking up any penalties.
Thank you.
It's a bit unlucky though, your teammate retiring.
Yeah. In the beginning we were running like a 1-2, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he lost it at the chicane.
Yeah, it was you, Max, and I think someone else was just in the mix with you guys, and Max was the driver behind, and
Yeah.
I just saw him with the back of my eye going into the wall, but you know, it's just the
Yeah.
first race of many. You
Yeah,
could
it's the first race. Quite lucky, I feel like, but I made it through.
I think you still had amazing pace. Both Blinda and Wimpy had some. I think I don't really know. Blinda had an accident, and Wimpy I think just misjudged strategy or something like that, because he did
Yeah.
pit twice, or once
Yeah,
more than you did. So
I just tried to do the soft medium strategy. I just thought I had a big enough gap, so I went for it.
yeah, that was. Congrats on the win. It was amazing watching you guys.
Thank you.
Really good race. Maybe there wasn't much fighting, but just seeing how you guys
Yeah.
are pulling away and then gaining back time on people, it was just super amazing. So thanks for the race, and I'll see you again next week.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay. Oh, bye bye. So I think this is it for the interviews right now. But yeah, thanks to everyone that tuned in for the SLR SRL Tier 3 race. There's gonna be one more again next week, and the week after that, always at the same time, 8:30. Next week, I promise I'm not gonna have this issues I had with starting the stream. And thanks a lot to everyone who watched, and see you again next week.